For many people, summer means time off and relaxation, but Angela Duckworth, author of the New York Times best-selling book Grit, says it's also a perfect time to develop interests. The University of Pennsylvania psychology professor found that grit, which she defines as a combination of passion and perseverance, is a key success predictor no matter what season it is. Grit is published by Scribner, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS. Angela, welcome back and good morning.
Thank you so much.
So first of all, congratulations, because I notice I always look at the New York Times bestseller list, and you've been on it since you first came here, so congrats.
I snuck a peek myself, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
But let's talk about this. You say gritty people usually focus on one thing at a time. But what about summer and for our kids?
So when you look at gritty people in full maturity, grown-ups, it's true, they do one thing really well. It's their passion. But where does that come from? When you're a kid, you don't know what that passion will be, so you have to try things. Summer is a great time to try things, even if they don't become your lifelong passion, because you always learn something.
For example?
For example, I love it when kids get a job. Now, not all kids are old enough to get a job, but when they are teenagers and they're legal to work, you learn enormous things. When you have a boss who's not your parent, sometimes, like Mark Vetri, a chef that I studied, he started washing dishes. It ends up leading to the passion. Sometimes it doesn't, but you always learn something.
You say a lot of commencement speakers say follow your passion, but you say foster your passion.
I have sat in innumerable commencement speeches. I'm a professor, of course, I've been a student, so I've graduated. And when that commencement speaker tells you to follow your passion and you don't have one, I think it strikes fear in your heart and you wonder, what the heck do I do now? Maybe a better verb is foster, because passions are really developed over time. You don't just find one. Summer's a great time to start that journey.
And you have a thing in your house, you say you should do one hard thing. I love this. What does this mean, one hard thing? Most people are running away from hard stuff, Angela.
Yeah, they are. Well, I have a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old home, and I do impose the hard thing rule on them. That means that they have to do a hard thing. They have to do something that takes practice to try to get better, to fail, and to get some feedback on that failure and to learn. And over the summer, they have to do a hard thing as well. We don't take breaks in our house, so the seasons have their seasonality, but yeah, over the summer, they will continue to do something that takes practice.
And you have to finish it.
And they have to finish it. You don't get to quit in the middle of things in my house.
What's a good example of a hard thing that you would try over the summer?
So, for example, my one daughter, Lucy, plays viola, and she'll continue to play the viola over the summer. So that's a kind of continuing hard thing. But my other daughter, Amanda, is starting to develop an interest in French. So we're actually going to send her to a program where she's going to practice French for 2 weeks. That's a bit of a luxury, and not every parent can afford programs, camps, but I think the idea in general is that if kids can do something where their interests are starting to grow, whether it's a paid program or not, I think that's progress. Sitting at home on your couch is not what I want kids to do.
Go ahead, then
I was just going to say this real quick. There's a great story, Condoleezza Rice said her mom always made her play the piano, and she wanted to quit. Her mom said, you can't quit until you're good enough. And of course, now she enjoys it so much in her life. But yet,
what's the grit scale?
The grit scale is the way that I measure grit. It's a questionnaire I developed after interviewing super achievers in fields as diverse as sports, music.
I'm surrounded by them.
Yeah, that's true. You interview them all the time.
Yes.
So you could have written the grit scale. It just asked the question, how persistent are you about goals that you care about? And how consistent is the direction in your life? I mean, are you going in all different directions? Or do you have a telos, something that motivates everything you do?
One of the biggest words in my life is purpose.
Yes, yeah.
Have purpose.
And to have purpose is the first step to having grit.
I like that. Angela Duckworth, love your book. Love having you here.
Good to see you again.
Really good information.
Congrats.
How to foster our kids during summer. Thank you.
Thanks so
and
much.
Grit is on sale now and continues to climb on the New York Times bestseller list.